Okay, so I was extremely fortunate to be joined by an absolute legend on today's videos too. So if you're just watching this one, make sure you go check the other one because they're both extremely warrior-centric, obviously. And it's Warrior TSW. If you don't know who Warrior TSW is, go check him out on YouTube, check him out on Twitch. He's played TBC Warrior for quite literally years and years and years and years. He dabbles in other classes, but he's a warrior at heart. So we go through what the best pre-patch talent spec is for your prot warrior and for your DPS warrior. We mentioned briefly in the DPS one, which is actually the next video, we mentioned about the power of an arms warrior, but ultimately for personal DPS, we was looking specifically at Fury. I've also got beta keys to give away. I'm going to be giving them away over the next 24 hours on Twitch, so check me out on twitch.tv/Scottejaye87. Because if you didn't get in on the beta and all your friends did, there's still a chance. There's still a chance. And I've got 10 keys to give away, another 10. So that's going to be about 50 we've given away over the last few weeks, which is pretty cool. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's go. Right, so I am joined by the one, the only Warrior TSW, who's a bit of a sexy beast. You've probably seen him on the channel before because he's a TBC Warrior god. Do you want to explain why you are TSW? I mean,
well, thank you for the intro. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, I've been playing private certain kind of TBC servers for like the last 8 years or so. Played it in retail as well, and it's my favorite expansion, as you might be able to guess. Yeah, and all of it basically playing prot warrior. Played classic pretty much all the way through, mostly as a DPS warrior, not a tank. But yeah, I'm looking to tank in TBC classic.
Cool. And just really quickly before we sort of jump into the specs, what sort of how do you think Warrior's going to be, both prot and DPS in pre-patch? Do you think they're going to be in a good spot or a bad spot?
Yeah, they're going to be in a good spot. I'm really interested to see how ferals compare to prot, because prot kind of stays kind of similar. You know, it's going to be similar, whereas the other tanks, Paladin and Druid, are going to get major changes. So they're going to jump and catch up. Like, they're going to make leaps and bounds closer to being a competitive tank, whereas warriors are obviously the tank in classic, and they stay roughly where they are, and it's up to the other tank classes how quickly and how much they can leap forward with the pre-patch.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, so while you're talking about tank, we'll start with tank then. So obviously there's going to be some of these talents that require like absolutely no explanation, I'd imagine. But if you just talk me through what we're going to do, have you got a TBC calculator open at the moment?
Yep.
Cool. All right, and then just fire away and tell me what I'm doing with these talent points to make the best, what you consider the best prot warrior TBC tank in the pre-patch. Sorry. One thing, are we going to be Fury protting or are we just going deep prot?
Yeah, you're going to be Fury prot. If anything, like the dungeons are going to be, or the raids are going to be easier than they are now in pre-patch. So it's just going to be more of the same, unfortunately. It's a little bit boring, but you're going to be getting the job done.
Cool. All right, where do you want to start? In the Fury tree or prot tree?
In the Fury tree, please. So that's 5 cruelty.
Yep.
Just increase your crit chance. Nice, solid threat from there. And then someone in your raid wants to be improved demo shout, but if you're the main tank, it's not going to be you. You don't want to be wasting those globals, so you're going to be 5/5 unbridled wrath.
Yep.
And then you can go for commanding presence 5/5.
So what's that? Increases a melee attack power bonus, your battle shout. And so yeah, you're not got commanding shout yet anyway, have you?
No,
you don't get that till TBC.
It's just battle shout.
Okay.
And then you can go down to the second tree and get enrage, and hopefully you get crit every now and then. You'll survive it because crits don't hurt that much in classic, but you'll get the big 25% damage boost for 12 seconds, which is massive. So you really want to see that enraged talent be proccing often. And then you want to be getting sweeping strikes. So you can do this on the pull, essentially whenever you're not in battle stance. Sorry, when you're not in defensive stance, you can pop a sweeping strikes and do lots of damage. It's not your main focus really, but it's good for 5-mans and things like that, where on the pull, maybe you can charge in, get a melee swing in, get hit, sweeping strikes, whirlwind, and then go back into defensive stance. And it's just like an extra flavor using sweeping strikes.
Okay.
But you don't need to worry too much about it. But it's, you know, mandatory to progress further down the tree. And then you've got a choice here if you want to go for weapon mastery, reducing your chance to be dodged by 2%. Now, I'm pretty sure that the mobs have a base, bosses have a base dodge chance of 6%. So this is getting rid of a third of that by reducing it by 2%. So that's kind of nice. But the trade-off is fewer points in dual wield specialization. So you can jump for 4 points in dual wield specialization, or you can go for 2 points in dual wield specialization and 2 points in weapon mastery for that reduced dodge chance.
What would you prefer? Would you prefer to go for the weapon mastery?
I'd say 4 points in dual wield specialization.
What about the fact that it reduces the disarm effects? Like, I know there's probably
you
not
don't
that
really
many
get disarmed too much, no. And if you do, I still just slip on the gloves from Stratholme, the Death Grips gloves, which gives you the same effect of half duration of disarms.
Okay, so we're going to go 4 in dual wield then, yeah? Just to get that extra damage.
That's what I would do. And it's good for trash as well, things where they have a lower chance to be dodged.
Yep, makes sense.
And then you go in 5/5 Flurry.
Yep. We're going a lot deeper in the Fury tree than I was expecting. You know, with how much prot has changed, I genuinely thought you was going to say deep prot would actually be the way to go, but obviously I know you've been tanking a lot on the beta and PTR and whatnot, so...
Yeah, it's very similar. And then just 1 point finally in Bloodthirst. So then we can pause there in Fury. And then we can drop down to the Protection Tree. Now, a very fun talent now we get is Tactical Mastery, where you retain 15 Rage whenever you change stances. Now, this is something that the Fury prot warriors have been begging for in Classic, because as soon as you have to change stance, you want to charge, you want to intercept, you want to do anything that changes stance as a Fury prot, you lose all of your rage, regardless of what you do. You basically want to save a blood rage, so you change stance, blood rage, and then you can intercept. And then you can Mocking Blow. Or you just wait there like a numpty, hitting and getting some auto attacks in, trying to get a bit of rage to then use a Mocking Blow if you need to. It can be a bit awkward. But
is that new? With Tactical Mastery, is it new getting additional threat from Bloodthirst as well? Or was that baked into something else before? Or is that
No, that's entirely new as well.
Which is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it synergizes with ease of stance changing, as well as extra threat on your Mortal Strike or Bloodthirst. Obviously, we don't have Mortal Strike because we're not arms. We've got Bloodthirst because we're Fury. Yep. Cool. And whenever I talk about Tactical Mastery as being a really good talent to get for changing stance, you also have to remember that level 20 in the pre-patch, you get Stance Mastery, which retains 10 rage whenever you change stance. So every warrior, irrespective of their talents, always retain up to 10 rage when they change stance. So with Tactical Mastery, that's an additional 15 up to a maximum of 25 with Tactical Mastery. So it's good, but you also get like a passive from the skill trainer anyway. So it's good. It's worth getting, but it's also, not as big as if we didn't have Stance Mastery from the trainer.
Yeah, the initial 10 that you're getting anyway.
Yeah. So then I'd go for 2 points of Anticipation just to increase the defense skill. You can arguably go for Improved Blood Rage if you like, just to get that little bit extra rage.
Is there a reason? There a reason it's not like worth putting 5 into Anticipation? I mean, obviously defense sounds good.
Well, just Tactical Mastery is nice. Getting the extra threat on your Bloodthirst whilst in defensive stance is the way to go.
Okay.
And then on the odd chance you need to, like for example, let's say that you're tanking Skull dies. You can jump into Berserker stance, do some Whirlwinds. Whirlwind hits with your offhand as well in pre-patch. So instead of seeing just 5 targets get hit for 500, you'll see 4 targets hit for 500, and then your offhand as well will hit for like 400 or 300. So you'll see twice the quantity of numbers when you're whirlwinding. So if you're not actually actively main tanking or tanking something in defensive stance with Bloodthirst, you probably want to be in Berserker stance whirlwinding, because whirlwind it's so much more satisfying. Like whirlwind in itself is satisfying to use in Classic, but when you have pre-patch TBC whirlwind, it hits with both weapons, and I think you're going to want to be in a Berserker stance a little bit and whirlwinding. Maybe once you even have threat of the mob, of the boss, you might just slip into Berserker stance and just hit some whirlwinds because it's fun and it's more damage.
Yeah. You're not allowed to have fun. But yeah, okay, go on. So where are we going next? So we've got 3 in Tactical Mastery, 2 in Anticipation, yeah?
Yeah, so depends how often you think you're going to be wearing a shield. Let's play it safe and go for 5 in Shield Specialization, and then 1 in Improved Shield Block. So you get 5% more chance to block, cool, and 1 rage when a block occurs from Shield Specialization, the first one. And the second one, Improved Shield Block, it's a cheap talent point that just doubles the stack of your shield block. So it blocks, instead of 1 attack, it blocks 2 attacks. So in your 6-second cooldown of shield block, you've got 2 guaranteed blocks.
Yep,
which
okay,
is nice.
makes sense.
And then last stand should be fairly self-explanatory. 30% HP, 8-minute cooldown. It's a literal lifesaver.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you're low HP, pop it and you'll probably survive. Get some heals in at least. And then Defiance, 3 of 3 to increase your threat significantly, as well as getting some of the new stat expertise, 5 expertise, which is solid.
Yep. So blood, can you use, you can use blood first in defensive stance?
Yes.
So you're going to get, obviously that's threat, so you're getting, naturally your attacks are going to do 15% more threat, plus the extra threat from tactical mastery. Do we know how much that actually is?
I don't think it's not a huge amount. I think that's a bit misleading.
Okay, well we're at 55. That's cool. Well, just if you know, so 55. Where are we going next? 5 points.
And then you've kind of got, this is like the staple build. So this is like the skeleton build where you want to kind of put things. I'd probably put things into, I'd like 1 point in dual wield specialization just to increase your offhand damage by an extra 5%. And then you can go 3 points into improved heroic strike. And then you've got 1 talent point left. And let's say maybe you missed out on a bit of hit gear. You can, in Fury, third from the bottom, get 1 point in precision just to get an extra 1% hit. Mm-hmm. Additionally, if you're still lacking hit, you can drop points out of anywhere else and just drop them into precision for some more hit.
So there's no point going any further down in prot. Got everything we need there. Like not even any options.
Yeah. I mean, one thing you could do if you're scared of dying is more talent points in toughness. So you can maybe remove improved heroic strike and put more into toughness for more armor. But realistically, I think, if you're dying, it's not going to be your problem or your gear's problem. It's going to be a healing problem or a boss mechanic problem.
So you'd say how this is at the moment, where we've still got 5 points left. This is every Fury prot warrior in the pre-patch should have these exact talents, and then the last 5. Yeah, you want either extra damage with dual wield specialization, or improved heroic strike, or more armor if you want more armor. It's a bit flexible.
Yeah, exactly.
But your preference would be improved heroic strike, 3 of 3, 1 more into dual wield specialization, and then 1 into the hit.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your hit. Like, if I have enough hit, I wouldn't do a precision. It's just if you want to.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Or you could potentially drop out one of your items that you're wearing, like mostly for the hit, and go for a bigger strength or agility item, and then I'm 1% hit off hit cap. Boom, drop it in precision, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that's cool. Is there any spec for tanks in TBC in the pre-patch, that you could see being used outside of this? Like, obviously, you're saying Fury prot is a thing. Do you think you'll see any raiding full deep prot warriors? Is there any point whatsoever, or literally is the damage you take so small that it's almost just like not worth it?
You can definitely have a go. The problem is the mobs just don't hit hard enough for you to warrant going that deep into the talent tree. That's the issue. And like your Fury warriors and everybody else are going to be crushing the damage meter, and you're there with your shield on permanently, getting in those shield slams, and you just kind of get left behind with regards to threat. For example, the Fury warriors, we'll get onto that in a bit. They're doing, big damage with some new extra talent points that we didn't get at the very bottom of Fury. They're going to be chomping away, and you're there just shield slamming and revenging, and you don't really keep up that well. I mean, I don't know. I haven't done so much in the deep prot in pre-patch because it's just not required. You'd rather have a Fury prot tanking and have them do significant damage, and the fact that you can go Fury prot means that you probably should go Fury prot. Like, if you're dying as the tank, you can go for a more old school deep prot build and treat the game like old school vanilla, sure. But in this era, we're min-maxing things, and you can get away with playing a more aggressive build and staying alive. So you do.
Yeah, so ultimately, if it's possible, do it, because if you're dying and you've got decent gear as Fury prot, probably blame the healers.
Yeah, or there's boss mechanics that are killing you that are avoidable.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, no, that's brilliant. So we'll leave prot there. That gives people an idea on what they're taking and why they're taking it. I'll let you just quick plug. Where can people find you? Obviously, you're always on a warrior, so just crack on.
Yeah, I mean, I might be doing some Druid in TBC. We'll see. We'll see how Warrior compares to Druid, but that's another story for another time. Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Warrior TSW, and on Twitch /Warrior TSW.
I'll put his links in the description anyway, so you can go and find him. Go show him some love. I very much enjoy watching him on Twitch when I'm in bed, naked. No. No, definitely not. Definitely. Well, yeah, okay. Once again, massive shout out to all you guys up there that have joined the channel as a member. So that's as a supporter or a legendary supporter. Every single one of you, really, really appreciate it. It just keeps helping the channel grow, helps keeping me sat in this chair pumping out TBC content that hopefully you want to see. Come check me out over on twitch.tv/Scottejaye87, where I stream most nights, pretty much every night while the beta's out anyway. And then I'm probably going to be just doing 4 nights a week, which is still quite a lot. But again, massive thank you guys, all of you, even the subscribers. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. Everything helps this channel keep growing from now until TBC and beyond. See you on the next one.